Hello, my friends. Hi, it's Miss Lacey. I'm not wearing a mask because I'm in my home. I have a story for you today. It's called The Little Red Hen. Ever heard of it? It's considered a classic. This was retold by Bonnie Dobkin. We've heard from Bonnie before. Illustrated by Subhash Vohra. How nice. Let's find out what they're doing different with the story that we've heard so many times before. Or maybe for you, the first time. Let me know when we're done. I'd love to know if this is your first time hearing this classic tale. The Little Red Hen. Once upon a time, there were 4 friends who lived together in a barnyard. A dog, a goose, a cat, and a little red hen. See the hen? That's a type of chicken there. The dog was a lively pup who liked to play all day. Sounds like something we like to do too, huh? Play all day. After all, he said, who will chase balls and do tricks if I don't? I guess he sees it as a job. The cat was a handsome animal who liked to groom himself. That means he likes to make sure he stays nice and clean and neat. After all, he said, who will take care of my good looks if I don't? Well, that's an interesting point. You should be in charge of taking good care of yourself, staying clean. It's important to keep yourself nice, so that way you're presentable to the public and you're healthy. The goose was a talkative bird who liked to gossip. It's okay to be a chatty bird. But gossiping usually means that you're spreading stories about other people that might not be good for them to know is out there. So that doesn't seem like a very positive quality. After all, she said, who will share the news of the day if I don't? She sees it as sharing news. And the little red hen, she just liked to figure out what needed doing and then do it. Well, my goodness, what 4 very different personalities. One day, the 4 friends decided to move together to a cozy cottage near the river. They were very happy there. Oh, what a nice little cottage they found. The dog played all day in their big front yard. The goose waddled to the farmyard each morning and always came back with new stories to share. She's being social, and she finds out everything everyone else has to say, and then she comes home and reports it. The cat washed himself on the sunny windowsill. I mean, all day? That feels like a silly thing to do all day. If you're in the water all that time, I don't think it's going to be very warm and comfortable anymore. And the little red hen, she cleaned the house, worked in the garden, cooked the food, and did whatever else needed doing. Oh. Wow, taking care of a house is a big deal. It's something that more than one should be doing. Each one of them should have their own responsibilities. It shouldn't all be the job of just one person living in the house, in this case, a hen. That's too much work for just one. That's too much. One afternoon, the little red hen swept out the shed and found a bag of wheat seeds. Excited, she brought the bag back to the cottage. Look what I found, she said. Ooh, how exciting. This came with the house. She found this whole bag of seeds. Who will help me plant these seeds so that we can have some wheat to bake some bread? Perfectly reasonable question to ask. She's got all of these individuals there who could help. Not I, said the dog. I have to play with my stick today. Not I, said the cat. I have to groom my fur today. Not I, said the goose. I have to talk to the cow today. She has some news about the goat. Oh, they say they're all very busy. The dog has plans to play with one of his favorite toys. And the cat's taking care of his fur today. And the goose plans to go and visit somebody. That seems unfair, though, that they can't carve out at least some time to help. All right, said the little red hen. Then I'll plant the seeds myself. And she did. She hoed the ground. See, that's a special tool that she's using, the gardening hoe. It helps you to dig up the ground. And then she planted the seeds. See, she's dropping them in just a little at a time. And she watered them well. And she pulled the weeds. Weeds are plants that you don't want to be around your plants because they'll take all of the nutrients and water away from the things that you're trying to make grow. Soon, a fine patch of wheat was growing tall in the sunlight. "The wheat is ready for harvest," said the little red hen. See, there it is back there. Look how tall it's gotten. Wow, she planted so many seeds. "Who will help me harvest it?" "Not I," said the dog. "I have to bury my bone today." That's his plan for the whole day, to do that one thing. He's too busy. "Not I," said the cat. "I have to smooth my whiskers today." For the whole day? "Not I," said the goose. "I have to visit the pig today. He says there's a scandal with the sheep." Oh gosh, so here we are again. She needs someone to help her. She's living with these three. And even though they could help her, they're saying they're too busy. "All right," said the little red hen. "Then I'll harvest the wheat myself." And she did. She cut the wheat. Then she gathered and tied it up in bundles that she stacked outside. So she cut it all down herself. And then she wrapped it up in these little bundles. That way she can take them out a little bit at a time. There, she's managed that whole thing. What a busy, busy girl. She has been so busy. "Now the wheat must be ground into flour," said the little red hen. "Who will help me pull the wagon to the miller?" "Well, not I," said the dog. "Today's the day that I chase rabbits." Well, it sounds like he's got a plan for the whole day, chasing rabbits around. "Not I," said the cat. "Today's the day I clean between my toes." Well, those must be some pretty dirty toes to take the whole day to clean. "Not I," said the goose. "Today is the day the goat said he'd tell me a secret about the cow." So they're all busy again doing nonsense. These aren't things that are helping the household. "All right," said the little red hen. "Then I'll pull the wagon myself." And she did. Oh, up and down these hills. Look at her go, pulling the wagon. She cleaned the wagon and loaded the wheat and went to the miller's down the street. The next morning, the little red hen was ready to bake. "Who will help me make the dough?" she asked. "Well, not I," said the dog. "I'm busy chasing my tail." "Not I," said the goose. "The dust might make it hard for me to talk." "Not I," said the cat. "The flour would muss my clean fur." Once again, she's asking for helpers and they're not helping. They're too busy. "All right," sighed the little red hen. "Then I'll make the dough myself." And she did. She gathered up eggs, milk, yeast, and flour, then mixed and kneaded for nearly an hour. It wouldn't have taken nearly that much time if she'd had helpers. But she's doing it all by herself. She's doing all the work. "Now," said the little red hen, though she already knew the answer. "Who will help me bake the bread?" "Not I," said the dog. "It's time for me to take a nap." "Not I," said the cat. "I really must get my beauty sleep." "Oh, not I," said the goose. "I absolutely must rest my voice." Well, now that excuse is really something, isn't it? Does the goose need their voice to help bake bread? No. Unless that goose is baking the bread in its mouth. Nope, nope, nope. That goose is just making excuses. They all are. They don't want to be helpers. They don't want to be involved in any of this. They're not being very good friends. "All right," said the little red hen. "Then I'll bake the bread myself." And she did. She built the fire, which was a difficult chore, and slid the pan through the oven door. She cleaned the mess that the baking had made, and finally went out to rest in the shade. Look at that. She's done all that work. Goodness, what a talented chicken. Does your chicken know how to bake bread? I've never seen a chicken do that. As the afternoon wore on, the wonderful aroma of baking bread drifted through the cottage. It tickled the noses of the napping dog, the sleeping cat, and the resting goose. There are 3 different ways of saying that they're laying around. They sniffed. They smiled. They opened their eyes. "What is that heavenly smell?" asked the goose. Oh, they smell it. See? There it is. There's the scent. The aroma. They smell the baked bread. Freshly baked bread smells amazing. "Why, it's just my fresh baked bread," said the little red hen. "Who will help me eat it?" "I will," said the dog, jumping up from his rug. "Well, I will," said the cat, leaping down from the windowsill. "I will," screeched the goose, forgetting to rest her voice. Oh, goodness. Suddenly, they've got energy for days. They couldn't be bothered to help her for any of the other steps, but oh, now they're ready to have a snack. "You will?" asked the little red hen. "But you let me do everything else." "I hoed the ground and planted the seeds and watered them well and pulled the weeds. I cut the wheat, then gathered and tied it up in bundles I stacked outside." "That's a lot." "I cleaned the wagon and loaded the wheat and went to the miller's down the street. I gathered up eggs, milk, yeast, and flour, then mixed and kneaded for nearly an hour. I built the fire, a difficult chore, and slid the pan through the oven door. I cleaned the mess that the baking had made, and then, only then, did I rest in the shade." So, do you know what? I think I'm going to eat this bread myself. And she did. Look at their faces. They are surprised. They're so used to her doing everything. Look how surprised they are. They thought she was just going to give it to them. And she said no. She's going to have that whole delicious snack all for herself. Because she made it and she worked for it. She deserves it. But the next time the little red hen needed help around the house, nobody said, "Not I." They've learned their lesson now, haven't they? If they want to get nice things, they've got to treat other people nice too. They can't just do things only for themselves. They're part of a team. The team works together. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. That's important to remember. I like this story. It's a classic for a reason. It's important to take good care of your friends and help them when you can. That's the end of our story for today. Thank you so much for being such great listeners. I'll talk to you guys later, okay? Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye-bye.